Welcome to the show.
Welcome to the magic of coffee. A little Gohan over here.
I saw that. Can you do the whole? Can you do the whole YouTuber thing where you go like this? Where you go like this? Can you do that? Can you show me?
Oh.
Wow.
You want to see something else cool? You can.
Because he's only half a man.
Gohan is the manliest man, alright? Well, he's 12.
He does this thing.
No, that was the Ginyu Force.
No, he does that in the Boo saga.
No, he doesn't.
Or no, that's the Cell saga.
No, that's the Buu saga.
No, yeah, when he was the superhero,
Yeah, this Great Saiyaman.
the Great Sandman.
What's wrong with you? I forget you don't eat meat, so you're just fucking protein deprived.
Well, no, I'm not. I eat protein. That's the main point of part
Shut
of my
up.
diet.
Yeah.
So, how you doing, buddy? Oh no.
I'm like 4 whiskeys deep. I'm good. That's why. So we recorded a lot. This is a back-to-back recording, right? So we like got done and Alex was editing, and I was like, "Yo, I gotta eat." So I attempted to air fry frozen burritos, and that was a mistake.
Did you eat them?
I still ate them, and they were like not frozen, but still cold.
What temperature did you have it on?
I don't know, the air fry temperature.
What air fryer do you have? Because my air
So
fryer can change temperatures.
mine can too. Mine's weird. It's like a toaster oven air fryer, and there's just like an air fryer setting, and an air fryer temperature, which is like the max temperature, which is like 400 or something.
We should put an image of your toaster oven in the show notes. I'm writing that in the notes.
I'll put it. Insert image of my air fryer here.
Yeah. So I'm again, as you can see, my set is.
It changed so drastically since last time. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
It's dark now, so the lamp isn't doing much justice. You have the issue I had the last episode.
So because I'm traveling and I'm kind of stuck out of state for a while, my set's going to change a lot. It might be this room for a minute, or it might change because I might get my room changed. But yeah, I'm kind of stuck in Tennessee for like I don't have a return flight back.
Yeah.
So we'll just kind of see. We'll just see. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I mean, I still want to keep doing. Like we kind of knew this was going to happen, so.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna keep doing episodes, even though my quality.
Well, that's also why we record like this is because you are on the road, and we're not gonna build a hard set anywhere.
Yeah, no and like the odds. I mean, at the end of the day, my complexion right now on screen just looks like your complexion IRL. So like, it's not the worst thing on the planet.
That was rude. That was very rude. Okay, I'm aware.
Wasn't it?
I am white and pasty. Okay, that doesn't allow you to be mean to me.
No, dude, I consider you a Super Saiyan, or or Gondor calls for aid. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for well, I was trying to say something so fucked. Like for shooting in New Zealand, there were a lot of white people there. That was the idea. They were all British, yeah, or American, yeah. Okay.
I didn't see any Polynesians.
No, there weren't any brown people there yet.
Those are orcs. Excuse me.
You said it this time, not me. Yeah. So this week we are going over It'll be a little later in the month, but March movies, and our thoughts and opinions on them. I don't know if will become a regular thing, but there were a lot of movies that came out in March, two really good ones in particular. So let's talk about it. Yeah.
Yeah. If you do like this style of podcasts or content, let us know, and then we'll keep doing them.
Yeah, comment on YouTube or email us at our email, themagicofcoffee@gmail.com, because I do not believe there is a way to comment on like podcast stuff, or even like the episode. I'm not super versed.
Or you can just hit us up on the Instagram. It's just the Magic of Coffee.
Oh yeah.
And just DM us, or you can comment or whatever. You just let us know. We just need to know.
For sure. We can.
We need words of affirmation. That's the podcast love language. Words of affirmation. Physical touch, quality time.
Look,
acts of service, gift cards.
Yeah, gift cards.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
But yeah, so there were 5 or 6 major releases, you could say, during the month of March. To start things off, we had Creed.
So I did not see Creed. I don't really care for those kinds of movies, those films. But I love that I watched Jordan look at himself on his screen and then realize he looks like a fucking neon light.
It was white as fuck. Can you put? That's a conversation for a different day. Putting Google Drive in a dark mode.
That's a tech thing. We'll do it after the show. But yeah, I didn't see Creed, so this one's on you.
Yeah. So sorry.
No. Yeah. Continue.
Creed 3, third in the franchise. Creed is a spin-off franchise from the Rocky Balboa series. It performed rather well. It released in a little over 4,000 theaters. Had a $58 million domestic opening weekend, which is pretty good, especially for a sports movie. Had the highest grossing sports movie opening weekend of all time. My review of it, I give it a 9 out of 10. I think it's
9 out of 10.
Yeah. I think it's
what would make it 10?
I'll get into that.
If Rocky showed up.
Sylvester Stallone was not in the movie. Not that took away from the movie in any regard. But I think 9 out of 10. I think there were some issues, particularly Jonathan Majors' performance. I wasn't a super fan of, but I think the movie as a whole was really, really well done. Took a lot of inspiration from anime fights in particular. Where there was the Dragon Ball Z gut punch,
really,
where they get punched in the gut and it's over exaggerated. They did the whole sideways, they both get punched in the face at the same time thing. It's really cool. The best boxing movie to ever come out ever.
Interesting. I'm a Rocky fan, so I take offense to that.
I love Rocky 1. I'm a huge Rocky fan as well. I even like Rocky Balboa. I think the speech he gives to his kid in Rocky Balboa is one of the best motivational speeches of all time.
Oh yeah, it was really good.
I listen to that speech on the regs when I'm wanting to blow my brains. So Creed 3 started March
you
out.
Good, homie?
Oh, I'm great. Always. What I tell my servers, I'm always fine, when in reality I'm contemplating just walking out of the building. So yeah, Creed 3 started the month out strong, and then we had Scream 6. I do not have a review for it.
I don't have a review either. So here's why. If you want to take it away, or I'll take it away, fuck it.
You can
so
do it.
Jordan and I we do not like horror movies. I barely like thrillers, to be honest with you. That said, let's just say whoever's listening really wants us to watch Scream 3, then we will. and we'll do an honest review of it. It might it's gonna suck for us, but I think it'd be funny. And like even like if you wanted to do like old horror stuff, things that we can actually like uh, do reactions to, things like that. Like I'm okay with any of that, but it's we're just not good at watching horror films. So if you really want us to write reviews on them, email it in or comment or DM us on Instagram, and we'll do it, but it needs to be requested.
Yes, I will not go out of my way and willingly to watch a horror film for the most part. But I
But
heard do it.
yeah, I heard as well that it's apparently like really good.
Yeah, I heard it was from friends that it was pretty good. It had released around 3,600 screens, theaters, and had a $44 million opening weekend, which is pretty good for a horror film, especially a legacy sequel like Scream 6. The next big movie to come out, oops, I don't have that up, is or was 65.
So let me say something about 65. Remember when in the previous movie we said, "Hey, you got to request it for us to watch horror films." That's the exception of Dinosaurs with Adam Driver in it.
Yeah.
Essentially, what had happened was, spoilers: the dinosaurs got stuck with Driver on a planet. That's exactly what happened because he was just like, "More, more." No, I love that film. It's
Yeah,
very good.
we honestly didn't know it was going to be like a horror film going into it.
Oh, dude, we watched it together. I was like,
Yeah.
I tried to cuddle Jordan, but he was being weird.
Yeah, it was a good movie. I think I gave it I think 7 out of 10 for what it is realistically at the end of it. Like it's not a great movie. Like it didn't do anything to change cinema in any regard, but for
I'd
what
give
it
it.
is, it was
I'd give
really
it an
good.
8. I'd give it an 8.
Yeah, 7 8 out of 10. I'd watch it again. Um
Yeah, I could agree with that.
but yeah, for a dinosaur horror film, I would even say 65 is a better dinosaur film than like the second and third World movie.
So I
So
haven't seen the third Jurassic World because you gave me an honest review, and that's why we have this podcast, and it made me not want to watch it. I'm gonna watch it. I'm probably gonna watch it next week, maybe. Um, the second, I have a soft spot for the second Jurassic World film because that's when you and I first met.
hmm
You know, and so on a romantic level, that's why I like it. You know what I'm saying?
I do have a
Uh,
soft spot for it as well. Yes, but
because it's the Alamo days. But when it comes to like a legit movies, oh, it's garbage for sure. We got
um,
another dinosaur.
no, no, it's like a genuine creepy, scary dinosaur film, and it was really well done.
But when it comes
Um,
to like that, yeah, oh yeah, for sure.
and then right after 65, that next week came Shazam.
Yeah, I don't give a shit.
I don't. Yeah, there's nothing to talk about here.
If someone listening really likes Shazam, please let us know. We'll watch all the Shazams twice over, and we'll do an honest review. But you're not gonna like it.
Yeah.
Black Adams, I can't even do a good review on Black Adams, and I'm a huge rock fan,
Yeah.
and I'm a huge like Let's Kill Everyone fan.
Yeah.
Still a garbage movie. The only good part about that film was the cameo at the end, but the cameo doesn't even matter anymore.
No. I think a lot goes. There's a lot what's going against Shazam, um, just because it doesn't really matter or didn't. There is a post credit scene that does and will connect it back into the new James Gunn DCEU, I believe. But
Spoil it for me.
I don't care.
Spoil it for me. What was the
Oh,
after?
well, it's literally so James Gunn directed Suicide Squad and then Peacemaker. In Peacemaker, there's like a team that's like helping Peacemaker out, figure out aliens on Earth type thing, right? a couple of people from that squad that are going to carry over into the James Gunn DCEU come find Shazam and are like, we need you to join the Justice Society. So yeah, that's it. And the girl in that squad is married to James Gunn, so that's it.
Okay.
Yeah. Did open up on 4,000 screens, had a $30 million opening weekend, which is dog shit for a superhero film. Not great. Especially when it comes up to our next movie, which I think is what we'll talk most about. Because we both have seen it. And I haven't actually, we haven't talked about your opinion of this movie. John Wick 4.
I haven't told you anything about my opinion on John Wick 4 because I knew we were going to talk about it. Whether it be this kind of format or whether it be an entire episode about John Wick, which we really didn't need to because, spoiler alert, he kills people. Do you know how many people he killed in John Wick 4? Because we checked. If I remember, if my mind hasn't deceived me, he kills 148 people in that film.
That's absurd.
Oh yeah,
that's a lot of people.
That's a lot of people. Okay. Where to begin? So, of course, the classic. He goes in guns a blazing. But I didn't watch. I refused to watch any trailers for it. I didn't watch anything about John Wick 4.
Interesting.
I just waited until it came out, and I was like, "Cool, I'm gonna go watch it." I didn't know my boy Ip Man was in there.
Mm-hmm.
That was incredible.
Old Donnie Yen.
Yeah, and I enjoyed the whole blind dude, but he was using tech in a way that was like really weird, like the motion sensor doorbell.
Yeah.
Like instead of like being like super high tech, he was literally just like using weird
doorbells.
Shit. Yeah, and it's so good. Like it makes it seem like because instead of like you have the MCU and they have like these insane weird tech that they use to complement their power. He's just using shit that he probably bought those bulk on Amazon. That's what it felt like.
Yeah.
And then the whole sword and blah blah blah, and it was so cool. And then my boy Zavala died. I had to fucking witness him die twice. That was
yes. Fine. Yeah.
Sweet baby.
It is rather sad how he did pass away right before the release of the movie, and then they do kill him off in the movie. So
you think that's how they did it?
They killed him in real life too. No, he died from heart disease apparently.
Yeah, I'm gonna miss him. He's in so many of my favorite films.
Yes, he was a wonderful actor.
Yeah, and he also was a voice actor for one of my favorite games.
Yeah, wonderful actor, wonderful voice actor. It sucks. But no, that movie is like 3 hours long, and it's 100. It just stays at 100 the whole time.
Oh yeah.
There is, and coming out of the third movie, I was just like, I don't know if they can top set pieces. I don't know if they can top, how they're, doing how they do anything.
Dude, the nunchuck scene. Sick.
So good.
Dude, I'm probably gonna buy like digitally for like because I'm always on planes, right?
Yeah.
So I have a separate phone that's strictly for movies. Movies is what I said. No, yeah. So I have a bunch of just movies downloaded. I think I'm gonna download all of John Wick's because they're so fantastic.
They're so good. I watched all of them. So I work for a movie theater. So we watched all of them just on the big screen leading into John Wick 4, and it was so worth rewatching all of them going into that. The top down when he's like clearing the house with the shotgun.
Good. So good. It made me want to like I'm not a Diablo player, but if I was like in my head I was like if this is what Diablo is.
It's actually heavily based off of a game, Hotline Miami, which is literally just that. It's this top-down. You're clearing houses, and you're just shotguns just blowing the shit out of people, and it's so. I was like, I love this. It was so good. Everything about that movie, I gave it a 10 out of 10. I think it's perfect. It did incredible. Released a little under 4,000 screens. It made $73 million opening weekend, which is insane for a rated R action film. Like a rated R film just in general, but for an action, like for a rated R one. And so far has made $271 million globally, and it's not even out in Japan yet. It releases in Japan in September. And there's a really funny story with that. So it always releases in Japan last. And the director was Keanu Reeves' stunt double for the Matrix movies. That's how they know each other.
Mm.
And so the story is for John Wick 1, it released in Japan, and they were just sitting at a bar in Tokyo. Yeah, that was weird. They just sat at a bar in Tokyo, and were just like on a napkin was like, what are we gonna do for a second movie? And they just sat down and did it. And John Wick 2 released in Japan last, and again they sat at a bar, drinking whiskey, and on a napkin was just like, how do we do a third movie? And then they did it for the fourth. So, because there's no official, like, is John Wick 5 happening? Specifically just with how it ends. I won't spoil that, at least. Because it is relatively new.
I
think there will be a fifth.
Okay. Okay.
It's made too much money for them to be like, you're done, right? Yeah.
So I guess we're not going to spoil that, even though we spoiled everything else.
Cool. Spoilers.
No. It's fine.
But I love the John Wick world. We are getting the ballerina spinoff with Ana de Armas next year.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah, and then we're getting a Continental show, which is based in the 80s, I believe. And just like helping expand this crime world, because this crime world is super cool. And I really enjoy it. So I want more of this world. So
yeah, as long as it's directed right, because that's the thing. Like, you can make an action film. Take the Expendables, for example. Mm-hmm. It's just action. Terrible, bad writing. Right?
Yeah.
But you have this, and it's not like, it's not complex writing, but it's tasteful. It's clever. You know, it's enticing. So I enjoy it.
Yeah.
As long as they keep that writing style, I'm super down. Always down.
Yeah, for sure. And then the last big movie, which is surprising you haven't seen this one yet.
Okay, so about spoilers.
I will keep this review spoiler free.
Thanks, because I as soon as I have time, whether I'm in this state or whether I'm back home, I'm gonna watch it. Like, even if I have to watch it alone or I have to drag you to watch it again.
I'll watch it again.
Okay, cool. Let's watch it again. No dates.
Dungeons and Dragons: Honor Among Thieves. My
continue. Sorry.
Review is 7 out of 10. It is not a bad movie, but it's not really. It wasn't a perfect movie in any regard, but it wasn't bad. And there are many things, especially if you're like very in tune with Dungeons and Dragons lore and like that universe, like the actual universe of Dungeons and Dragons. There's a lot of like moments where you're like, oh, that's what they're referencing. And there's several times where it's like, you know, you rolled an at 20 and then immediately rolled a 1, you know, and then it's like, here's this cool thing. Oh, I fucked it up. So it's pretty fun.
Are you versed? So I'm a big D&D player.
Yeah.
Are you a big D&D player?
I've played it. I'm not super versed in it.
Could I, just for reference, to explain to people how invested I am into D&D, I would like to explain what my character was my last campaign. Mm-hmm. And this is why I was like, hey, no spoilers, because I'm super into D&D. So I was an elf monk from a place called Feyworld. Now the reason I chose the race and the class is because monks are overpowered, incorporate that with elf-like traits, it becomes like super overpowered. So essentially, what ended up happening was I could Naruto run up anything without having to roll. I essentially could Spider-Man would just walk up things and just hide. Every punch was magic, and I had enough key points low level to where I could pretty much just like punch the living fuck out of anything and everything in one turn. And then I got to high level stuff, and then I just had all like essentially I learned every single language. That was just a trait that I learned as a monk. Um, I could scale. I could just jump over buildings. I was essentially just trying to be Naruto without having to like clone myself or whatever. But that's how invested I was. It was
Yeah.
so nice. And then I had another character that like only had cloth, a great sword, could teleport, and the only way I could get that character was to kill off 10 characters without the other team knowing, or without my other campaign members knowing. And if they found out, I could never get that character. In turn, I did it. It was so nice. But yeah, that's my whole like that's my rant on D&D. That's why I'm like, oh yeah, D&D. But it was
Yeah.
so like I want to know your opinion. I mean, you've played D&D before.
Yeah, I've been a DM, a dungeon master. I've played in a couple different campaigns, and it's a fun movie. Like it is Dungeons and Dragons at the end of the day. It's wacky. There are literally moments where it's you're like only a player character could have come up with this absurd idea, that they have on like beating this enemy, and or just like there's literally like perception checks in the movie where they're like, "You've had this thing the whole time. What is that?" And they're like, "Oh," and then it turns out to be this crazy item, And it's just like little things like that where you're like,
Dude,
you know,
dude, you know what's so good about like this like if they were to continue doing D&D like essentially like high budget sessions is you have an endless amount of content
yeah,
because it's literally like, hey, we need someone to submit what they did during this campaign, and then they just make a fucking blockbuster movie out
no,
of it.
for sure.
It's it's like, oh, that sounds
Yeah.
so fucking sick.
And there's a story. It's pretty well known now that the cast played a D&D campaign together before they started shooting in their characters.
I did not know that.
Oh yeah, yeah. They played a
That's
game
incredible.
together to help like understand the characters better and like what they were getting into. And you could like, I think you could tell on screen that they enjoyed playing the characters that they played and understood that they were in a Dungeons and Dragons world, and this is that what they wanted to do. So
So was the so they did a campaign. Was the campaign relative to the story that they were doing in the film?
if I remember correctly, and I may be wrong, is that this was the campaign. Like the campaign they played was the movie
Oh, I
for the
see.
most
I see.
part. And I don't know if it was a more structured campaign to like keep them on the path of the movie, but, or
Yeah,
I'm not sure how that was played or who the DM was or anything like that. So I just know they played.
yeah. Uh, but yeah, I really want to see it as soon as I can. I'm going to see it. And I think what we could, I think what I'm going to do is I'll probably just post on the Instagram my
Mm-hmm.
reaction to it. Just to, because like right now we're not like literally not giving anything. I think you're going to go over the stats or have you already?
Yeah, no, I haven't yet, but I will. Yeah, it's little under
Yeah.
4,000 theaters picked it up. It did $370 million opening weekend. At the moment, time of recording, it's done $126 million. We are going to get more Dungeons and Dragons movie. Is the long and short of it. Um, yeah, it's like we're getting it. It's not good. Like this is going to be a new franchise. So
I'm super down. I'm honestly super down as long as they don't just flush it down the drain.
I
You
don't
know?
think they will. Um, Hasbro likes money. Hasbro, I think, is also aware of to make money, you need a good, movie. So
Um, I have one more question to ask before we move on from the D&D thing,
Hmm.
and I'm gonna show you. Uh, hold on.
Secret Lair D&D movie.
Did you have to read that backwards?
Yeah.
Okay. I also had to contort because I forgot that I have another arm. Yes. Do you think Hasbro's gonna make Secret Lair?
They would have already. It would have come out alongside it. Their big thing right now is the Lord of the Rings cards.
I don't want to talk about that. I refuse to talk about that.
You asked me. That's my thoughts.
You're being real selfish right now.
I didn't say we were going to talk about the Lord of the Rings cards. I'm just saying that's what they're focused on. So they spent a lot of money to get that going, and they're going to use it. Because I guess we're not talking about Magic. It's fine.
Yeah, no, please. Cool. I'm trying to think if did anything Marvel come out in
Ant-Man
March?
came out in February, and we could talk about it.
Yeah, but we pretty much did a rundown.
Yeah. Last
On
episode
Ant-Man.
2 is
Yeah.
pretty much Ant-Man, so.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, the next Marvel movie is Guardians of the Galaxy in May. April has a really good lineup of movies, for the most part. April has a good release. I don't remember off the top of my head, but
Yeah, we can post that all into the on the Instagram or whatever. And if anyone's like seen any of those films and you haven't heard anything about it from us and you want to let us know, by all means, hit us up on Instagram or YouTube, and let us know, and then it'll be on our priority list. Um, I honestly don't know what's coming out in April. I'm excited to see the lineup, just because we got this. This is going to be a good year for
this is
for movies.
a phenomenal year of movies. April, the Super Mario came out last week, and that's going to be $1 billion movie. So
Yeah,
we'll talk about it at some point.
Yeah, we'll do we might need to do a full episode on the Mario movie.
Yeah.
I have a lot of opinions.
No, same. So, but yeah, that's all the movies that came out in April. Again, if you have any suggestions
March those came out in March.
those movies came out in March. It is April, so my brain is April.
Now it's all good.
Those are all the movies that came out in March. If you have any other suggestions of movies that came out in March, Inside did not get released in the area we were in. I did want to see it. Willem Dafoe gets locked in a luxury apartment because he's an art thief and he was trying to steal some art, and then the apartment, like penthouse apartment, shuts down, and he gets locked in there for like months or something like that. Yeah, and he goes like batshit insane. Like, I really want to watch that movie, but it didn't come out, so we didn't see it. Right.
I said at the beginning of this episode that we don't want to do thrillers, yet you're fucking gonna watch one that's a psychological thriller.
I'm like horror.
I can't do thrillers, dude.
It's also Willem Dafoe. Like, anything he's in, he's a thriller. You didn't like The Lighthouse either, actually, so that's fine.
Oh, dude, I fucking hate. I
love that movie.
I watched it at your place, and I remember just being
upset.
Unhappy.
Yeah.
I was just unhappy.
Yeah, you did not like that movie.
Yeah. It was a fantastic movie. What makes it a fantastic movie is because I had a terrible time, but it was because of I was immersed in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't like those kinds of movies because that shit lingers. And like Shutter Island, I cannot watch that show anymore. Ex Machina, I've seen it once and I will never see it again. If it's on somewhere, like at a party, I'll leave that goddamn party. And that was such a cycle. It fucked me up so hard that I was like, I don't know if I'm capable of having a good week. So I'm just like, no, none of those I can't do. I just can't do it.
For sure. I'm typically not into horror. I do like psychological horrors, though, but like psychological films. For the most part, there are some of them where I'm like, let's never watch that again. So But yeah.
Like Human Centipede. I get it. Some call that a rom-com, really. You can follow us on Instagram.
We should do a watch party for Brokeback Mountain.
Why?
Why not?
I would argue.
They're trying to get me to put it on at work, which is really funny. But
I would argue we should do Human Centipede.
just go all the way. Human Centipede.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Human Centipede 1 and 2 double feature.
I've never seen any of them. Email Themagicofcoffee at themagicofcoffee@gmail.com, and if enough people say so, you and I will have a watch party, and we'll live stream it.
We need like 100 likes on this video on YouTube for us.
If we get 100 likes on YouTube, fuck it, yeah. No, if we get 100 likes, I'll watch the first one.
I'll watch the first one if we get 100 likes on YouTube. That's and then we'll if that happens, we'll come up with another absurd goal to reach for.
Why'd you woo that?
Huh?
That's what you did.
No, I didn't.
Roll it back. But anyways, yeah, you can follow us on Instagram at Themagicofcoffee. If you have any questions or you want to submit a movie, series, anything like that, mostly anything nerd culture that you want us to talk about, email us at themagicofcoffee@gmail.com. If you're watching this on YouTube, if you want to comment down there, pretty much anything you want, or if you really like it, you can like it, subscribe it, hit the bell.
Ding.
Nope, it doesn't make that noise. That's a Taco Bell. That's your,
no, Taco Bell's bong.
Nope, that's just Asian. That's a gong. Anyways, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. And we'll see you in the next one.
Bye-bye.
You gotta stop doing that.